I started August of 2024. So what is it, 13 months now? And Angela Butler Smith, she introduced me to it. She was telling me about her mom and what was going on with her. And she and I have been friends for 20 years. So she had no idea what I was going through. So then I just I broke down crying and just told her. I said I have stage 3 liver disease, and I don't know what to do. Just don't, I
Wow.
just know I need to get well.
Now, how long
So
had you known you had that?
it was going into 2 years at that time. My mother had stage 4 before she found out and had passed. And this is, I was going to the doctor getting checkups, and they kept saying, "Oh, you got a fatty liver. You got a fatty liver." Well, what's that mean? So as they referred me on to specialists, I eventually got to a liver specialist, and he did what they call a fiber scan to see to come up with whether I was a type 2 or a type 3.
Mm.
So when we first found out I was a type 3, my numbers were, and numbers are your the blockage that you have in your liver, and
Mm-hmm.
it's tested by a fiber scan, and it's a wave. Well, I was at 13, and
And that's pretty high.
that's very high. 7.2 is normal,
Right. Right.
right? And so
So what did you start patching with?
I started with X39 and Eon, and
Okay.
then I was reading up on it, and so I added glutathione 30 days later because I knew I needed to get those toxins out of my body in order
Right.
to heal.
Now, what was the
So,
first thing you noticed when you started patching?
oh my goodness, my sleep was so much better. I was having REM sleep. I had that in years, didn't have dreams or anything like that. And so that was one of the first things. And then the energy. I would come home from work and just keep going. And it was
Hmm.
like, okay, I need to sit down because I got to go to bed now. But and so that was the first couple things that I noticed in the beginning, and then of course it's just improved over time, and I'm so
So
excited.
what happened when I think you went back to the doctor in November?
I did. My number had went down from 13 down to 11, and so that was great. And then I went from stage 3 to stage 0. I was hoping to get a 2. And when the lady she started crying, she just said, "Take a picture of this." And I'm like, "Why?" And she goes, "You're stage 0." And I was like, "How'd that happen?" She goes, "I don't know." But she was
Wow.
the technician. The doctor was amazed. And from that, I was able to come off of 8 medications.
In
8.
November or since then?
Well, in November we lowered the dose of 1, and I was able to come off of 6. And then June of this year, I was able to come off the 2 drugs that he had me on for the liver disease. And I'm his first patient out of 500 people that he has that's on, and it's called Resdifra. I know you've seen it on TV because
Yeah.
I have. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's what I take," and it makes me nauseous. I hated
Hmm.
it. And so the glutathione really helped with the nausea and that. So, but yeah, so I came off of that June 17th. So,
Wow.
and that was because he told me, he said, if your scan gets below 10, your fiber scan, we'll take you off the medication. So I said, okay. So I was all excited. I knew I was feeling better. The other thing that happened is I had lost 20 pounds before I started patching. After patching, I lost an additional 50 pounds. So I've lost 70 pounds in a year.
Wow.
So, yes.
Well, let's
And
back up a minute because let's get to what your last scan was. That you started at
yes,
13, you went to 11 by November, you went from stage 3, fatty liver disease, to stage 0.
0.
But what was your last scan?
My last fiber scan was 7.4. So I am 2 points, or not even a whole point, but 7.2, like I said, is perfect, which means there's
Wow.
no blockage. So
Wow. And is that basically the kidney scarring? I meant the liver
liver
scar?
scarring, yes, where nothing can pass through. It's totally blocked. And so it's dead meat that's there. It's
Wow.
just totally dead. And so, and the liver does regenerate, but if you don't take
Yes.
care of it and try, um, and when I first saw the scan, I didn't understand about what does it mean, 13 and then 7 or 11. And then when I saw the 7.4, I saw the difference because my liver was doing this.
Mm-hmm.
That was the ripples or the scarring where nothing could get through. It would just hit it and just
Mm-hmm.
sit there. And then so when I saw the other, it was like this. I was
Wow.
like, oh, I was so excited, and I'm continuing. I do go again in December to just make sure I'm still on track, doing the right
Right.
thing since I'm
What's,
off of all the
what does your
meds.
doctor have to say?
Well, he is a doctor and he's a medical doctor. He said, I know you're patching, and I can't say that that's what did it. And so I asked him point blank, I said, how many of your other patients have come off the medication? He said, you're the first. I said,
Wow.
okay, that says something. And I said, and I'm going to keep patching. And I am.
Wow. And you do
So
look amazing. Your skin looks
thank
great. You're
you. Oh,
sleeping
yes.
better. You said your pain and inflammation is better.
Oh, yes. Oh, and I
Brain.
have hair that's growing like crazy. My
That's
hairdresser told
awesome.
me that. And then I have fingernails now that I couldn't grow my nails. These are all my nails. So, but
Wow.
yes, that was the other thing that I just noticed. I was like, golly, I got to go get my nails done.
And you said your
But
brain fog was better. You feel less stress.
I do. I feel definitely less stress. Uh,
Awesome.
our work has been under a lot of review for 2 years now, and I
Hmm.
was really stressed over that. And my boss asked me last year at the end of the year, because they do a review mid year and then they do one at the end of the year. And he says, I don't know what you've done differently. He said, but your work has, you've just turned around. And I said, thank you. I said, I know. I said, I call it a hot mess because I was worried about my health and trying to maintain my job and everything. But through all that, I managed to get, well, the biggest bonus I've had, and I've been there 27 years,
Wow.
and a raise. So I was like,
Wow.
yay.
That's awesome. Well, if you came in late, Cindy just told us that she started patching in August a year ago with X39 Eon, added glutathione 30 days later. She had third stage fatty liver disease and a 13 on the scale of scarring, liver scarring. And in 4 months, she was down to stage 0, and her scarring had gone down to 11. And just to sum up, she went back in June this year and her scarring was down to almost normal. 7.4 with 7.2 being normal.